Okay, I'm going to show you one of my favorite things in the world of knitting. I did not come up with this. This is the brainchild of Judy Becker, who lives in Portland, Oregon. And it was published in knitting.com in their summer issue of 2007, I believe, maybe 2006. You better look in my book to find out, or Knitty. At any rate, I've met Judy, I now know Judy, and think the entire world of her. She explained to me that she thought of this one day when she was homesick, so sick she couldn't knit and couldn't read. She's too sick to knit or read, so instead of doing either of those things, she picks up her needles and invents what I believe is the best cast-on, the best provisional cast-on the planet. So here we go. It's called Judy's Magic Cast-On. Another good name for it would be Judy's Miraculous Cast-On. It is a long tail cast-on in the sense that it uses the working yarn and a tail of the long tail of the working yarn. But other than that, it is quite different. Now, I like to teach with story, and so we're going to start out by being in the jungle. This is a jungle vine hanging down, and this is a jungle bird coming in. He's hungry. He eats jungle vines. He bites the vine. Let the vine fall down over the back so that the tail is to the front. The vine is to the back. It's in his beak. The top needle is the one that has the vine over it. Okay? At all times, we must know what is the top needle. Top needle is dark. The light needle is the bottom needle. Okay? Dark top, light bottom. Okay. Now what you do now is you take the tail, pull it to the right of the working yarn. See, this is the right side. To the back. Because that will make this little cross. Okay? So it's not on the bottom needle at all. The blonde, we'll call this blonde and brunette. Or something like that. The blonde and the brunette. Okay. It's on the top needle. Now I want you to hold it like you would a long tail cast-on. What that means is you spread it between your thumb and your index finger. The rest of your hand grab it and hold it tensioned. And notice that we now have, now I'm going to talk about this differently. If this were a clock, this is a weird clock. It goes tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. I know that clocks don't tick and talk like that, but this one does. But the clock face never moves. If you have a clock on your wall, it's the hands that move, right? Not the clock face. So I want you to do the same thing. I want only the tick-tock, the needles to move. Okay, top needle has a stitch. Bottom needle, the blonde one, is going to get a stitch from the index finger like this. It's basically a yarn over, isn't it? It goes up over the top of the yarn, down underneath it, so that the yarn wraps it just like that. Once more. Go tick. Okay, they each have a stitch now. Now we go tock. Now the top needle, the brown one, likes the thumb. Hello, thumb. Brown needle has a deep voice. Hello, thumb. Thumbs have deep voices too. Hello, dark needle. And as if though the blonde needle isn't there at all, the dark needle goes behind the yarn and wraps. Notice it is wrapping in the same direction and the same angle as the other one did. Okay, then tock. Blonde needle and the index finger are friends. Hello up there. Wraps like that. Talk. Down like that. Hello up there. Talk. Notice they're always wrapping like that. Hello. 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 Whoops. Sometimes they get confused, but you won't get confused. Let's come up closer. Top needle. Hello, thumb. Hi, index finger. Hello, thumb. Hi, index finger. Okay, I'm out of yarn, so a good place to Decide we're at the end. We have the same number of stitches on both needles. I know because the last one is always the bottom needle, and there it is. Now if I just let that hang, watch it float away. We don't want that to happen. So what we do is we pull that yarn over the top of the working yarn and kind of pull it all the way back there. Now we rotate like this, and now it would be time to knit. Now I don't know if you know, but these are actually straight needles. Because that way I could show you on two colors and you could tell them apart. Notice, by the way, that when we rotate, the bottom needle now becomes the top needle. This is the needle you're going to knit off of. If you're doing this in double pointeds, you would of course have other points back there. But we're now going to switch to 2 circulars because then it is much easier. Now if you had cast on 2 circulars, this would be a circular, this would be a circular, the cables would be hanging down that way and coiling around down there. So excuse me while I go get my circulars. You know, this is so fast, I'm just going to do it on 2 circulars and give you a review. Okay, yarn's over the top one. Excuse me, like so. Tail is carried from the right to the back. Spread like this. We have a top needle and a bottom needle. The bottom needle goes up here. The top needle down here. Bottom. Top. Bottom to index. Top to thumb. 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 Bottom to index. Enough. Now you might think my voice is crazy, but it will help you learn. Okay, what do we do with this little guy so he doesn't get lost? We pull him in front of the working yarn, plug him back there, rotate like this. Excuse me, I'll be right back. So once again, here we are. We've got to secure this by pulling it in front of the working yarn into the back and then tugging it like that. Now we rotate so that the needle that was on the bottom, we're rotating clockwise. The bottom needle is now on top. There it is. So the last stitch that you cast on was on the bottom needle, which is now on top, so it becomes the first stitch you knit. Now, because I'm using 2 circulars, I can pull this one out of the way into udder position. Let's look at that for all of those of you who haven't watched that video. This is like a goat udder. When it's not being used, it swings like this, like a well-milked goat udder. It's the udder needle out of your way. Just like a goat udder, gravity pulls it down out of your way. Okay. Back up here. You simply now begin knitting, but before you do, here's why it's so wonderful. First of all the stitches are perfectly mounted. Second of all, you have already done your first purl row. That does not just look like a purl, that is the genuine article. You are looking at pearls. Okay? So, and it will have perfect tension. So 3 things this has, at least 3. 1, perfect tension. 2, the purl row is already done. 3, all the stitches are correctly mounted. And 4, it's fun to do. And 5, it's fast. And 6, it might be the thing that will make Judy Becker decide to invent a lot more things. Okay, notice I'm at the end of that needle. Pull it into udder position. Other one, alarm clock goes off. Wake up, sleeping needle. It gets into position. You knit across there. When I get to the end of this needle, by the way, I will have done 3 rows. Well, I will have done 1 full round and 1 row, because the row happened in the cast on. And now I have knit all the way around both needles, which is 1 row. So, look at that. There are indeed 3, 1, 2, 3. And let's look at it this way. Perfect tension, absolutely beautiful. And now we can proceed to use this to make a toe, or to do a cuff, or any number of things. This is the provisional cast-on of the century. Thank you, Judy Becker. You're a genius.